the offensive proficiency you guys showed on Saturday. Just how happy were you with that?
Yeah, I'm happy that we got the win, and yeah, a lot of things we did well, but plenty to work on.
You've seen Saturday's good in practice, but to see him come into a game and do that, just how impressive was that?
Yeah, it was impressive. Not surprising, but impressive. Yeah.
Is the chance to coach Genty part of the reason you came back?
I've been fortunate to coach some really good backs, and Fred Taylor, Reese Jones-Drew, Steven Jackson, Michael Turner. So I've been around some good ones, and he fits right in that group.
You said there's plenty to work on, but where's your priority to start?
Well, I don't need to announce that to the general public, but let's just say we didn't play a perfect game by any means. I mean, we got plenty we can get better at.
The offensive line, some of the holes they were creating for Genty, and then I don't even know if Max got touched. I mean, how impressive was the O-line?
The O-line played well. Like we blocked overall really well, not just the O-line, but our tight ends and wide receivers really blocked well. You know, Matt Lauder, for not getting very many balls thrown his way, he blocked his tail off. But all of our guys, the Latrell Capels on the perimeter, and you know, obviously everything starts with the O-line, pass pro and run blocking. So you know, those guys, that was a good start for those guys for sure.
The depth in the receiver room was pretty evident on Saturday. You know, 8 different guys catching passes. You know, just is spreading the ball out like that, is that always going to be part of the game plan?
Well, that's a blessing and a curse, right? It's a blessing and a curse because those guys all want to be fed, and there's only one ball. So you guys can draw your own conclusions from there.
Dirk, you know, in terms of like you see the effort of a Matt Lauder or the Latrell Capels at times, and the ball isn't in their hands. Like, what does that say overall about maybe the potential of your offense because of that type of willingness, I suppose?
Yeah, well, they're all, those. It's hard. It's hard. This is a game based on stats, but it's also a team game, right? So the object of a team game is to get one more point than the other team. We were able to do that, but within that, guys want to, they feel. They have a tendency to feel more like they contributed based on their individual stats. So, I try to tell those guys that everybody has to have when you're a run-first team, everybody has to have an O-line mentality. Those guys are grinding it out and never getting the credit. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do for some of the other skill guys. It's human nature, but at the same time, it's a team game. And that's just a hard thing. It's hard everywhere, not just here.
Go back and whether it be the offensive line or Max just getting the ball out. He didn't take any sacks. You guys weren't behind the chains a bunch. Like when you have this ground game, I know the answer's probably obvious there, but like when you have this ground game, how big of a difference maybe can that be for going out and scoring 56 points?
Well, it's forget how many points you score. That's huge. Being ahead of the chains is huge, and staying out of third and long. That will be a big challenge this week. If you really drill down on that Idaho game, even though the score was close, and hats off to Idaho, but that Idaho was behind the chains all day. I mean, it made it tough. They only ran 48 plays in the game, so staying ahead of the chains every week is very important.
Post game scout report on Maddox. What did you like? What are you talking about this week?
Well, he was solid. I mean, Maddox was solid, and we expected that. He made a couple of mistakes, and it's tough to be perfect playing that position. But he got the ball out on time. He made good decisions a majority of the time, and put the ball on the money a majority of the time. So that's what his job is when you're ahead of the chains, especially. It's the game changes a little bit when you get behind, and we did get behind again in the second half. And I thought he really, coming back 2 times. One after he threw the interception, and then the second time after we got behind in the second half, I thought he really came back and answered the bell both times.
After that pick you mentioned, you guys started that drive at the 10-yard line the next drive, and to go 53 to Camper and 30-something with trouble. 2 plays, you're down to the 1-yard line or whatever. I mean, what's that say about him, but also your confidence in him to call those plays?
Oh, I definitely have confidence in him. There's no question about that. And, those are 2 plays that we wanted to get to. It was sort of ironic that it was right after the interception. That wasn't necessarily planned that way. That's just kind of when they came up. But that does indicate the amount of confidence we as a coaching staff and as a team have in him.
How'd the new coach to QB helmet receiver thing work? Are you a guy that likes to be in his ear up until like 15 seconds, or how do you play that?
Well, I thought overall it went pretty smooth. There was a few hiccups with it, and I'm sure there will be as the season goes on every week. No, I'm not a guy that likes to be in his ear. I think that's why you meet all week. We have hundreds of meetings and hours of meeting time with those guys. I think on Saturday you're trying to let them play, and you're just trying to give them the information they need, which is the play call, and maybe what personnel are in the game for the defense, and then let them go.
Obviously, Oregon's going to be really loud, and we're already seeing every single game, and I think you referenced it last week, and it's more and more now, and Austin's going to be crazy. So, how much did you rely on that, or how much do you go back to old school with some silent stuff?
We have both. We have both ready to go, and I think you have to have. You know, those headset things could go out at any minute, so you still have to have all your old school signals and all that stuff ready. You are seeing every quarterback really. It didn't matter how full the stadiums were, and that surprised me because you really don't see that much in the NFL. So that sort of surprised me. We are working on a couple things technology-wise. This is new, and our people that handle that are working on a couple other options that are over my head, but they're working on it.
Is it as simple as a volume button?
It's along those lines, yes. I mean, supposedly we were close to the max on that, but they're playing around with it. They're working on it.
With Ashton's day, it almost felt like Sire's game was, one of the more 100-yard under the radar performance debuts I've ever seen. Just how good can he be for you guys?
No, he's good. I mean, he's good for sure. And we got another good one in Breezy sitting there too. Breezy missed a lot of time leading up to this game, so I think his usage will go up in the future as well. But Ashton can only go so much, so you've got to have that next guy ready to go. And we're pretty deep at that position.
We didn't see Breezy at all this past weekend. It's just how close is he to getting back on the field?
Yeah, he's real close. Yeah, he's real close.
Nick Saban said on national television he tried to hire you multiple times as his OC and couldn't get it. When was the first time he approached you? Where were you in your career at that point?
Yeah, I think he was being kind of generous when he said that. I don't know where that came from, but that was. I don't know where all that came from. I'll just leave that be. There wasn't too many times, but maybe there's at least one in there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.